Welcome to my May reading wrap-up, and I will say that I was filming my May reading wrap-up over on TikTok and I realized that May wasn't a great reading month for me. I have one 5-star read and that was at like the very beginning of the month. I've read 12 books in total this month. 6 books I did not enjoy, 6 books were good, so it's 50-50. With only one 5-star read. Which one is it gonna be, girl? Which one is it gonna be? In no particular order, I'm just going to grab and go. We'll start with The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. This was a good read. Kind of, sort of like a Forbidden Lovers, more like two people who should never be together because they are just not compatible or wouldn't seem like they're compatible and are just so different and they end up together, but very unconventionally. Summer is for the rom-coms. Summer is where we want to binge all the goofy, silly little rom-coms, and that's currently what I'm doing. And this is definitely one of those books that if you feel the same way, you should add to your list. Next, we have The Fabrics of Our Soul by N.K. Morinova. I give this book 3 stars. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I felt like it could have been great, but it was lacking something. And I believe what it's lacking for me is just more connection to the characters or more connection with the characters themselves. It's very dry and the banter. And banter is what makes a book so good for me. And Liam's character confused me quite a bit because when we first get introduced to him in the book, he's very strange. He's very weird and he's super questionable. But the more the book goes on, he just kind of becomes someone different, but not really in a way that makes sense. But then he kind of like keeps going back and forth. There is a point that I understand that he is in a mental institution. So maybe like the changes in his character were meant to be, but I don't know. Next we have Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cercerelli. If you're looking for a forbidden romance, look here, girl, because this is so easily bingeable. I have a witch and a witch hunter. First, they're trying to outdo each other. They're trying to like see who can play each other first, who's gonna win the game of deception, but where does it lead them? Where does it lead them? Now I'm thinking about where it led them and I need book 2. The next book was a book that I originally DNF'd, but this month I decided to reread it and give it another shot. We have Hunting Adeline, which is the second book in the Cat and Mouse series by H.D. Carlton. The first book is Haunting Adeline, and it was okay. 3 stars. I mean, it's so long. It's so hefty. The first half is devastating. The first half is what caused me to DNF it because it's so dark, it's so heavy, and then the second half was good but a little lackluster. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This book is a good mental health rep that is a slow burn second chance romance, and when I tell you slow burn, it is a slow burn. I don't know if you guys can tell. Let's see if I can get it to focus. The blue tabs are the romance tabs. 2 aspects in the beginning of the book where there's like little hints that it's like, ooh, we're not done here. It's really like at this point in the book that the romance really begins. So you have all of this to get through. But it's still really good because there is a really well-written mental health aspect of this book. So if you've ever dealt with anxiety and extreme depression and grief, this does a good job at depicting on what that's like. And there are many quotes that I've gotten from this book that I related to, so I love that. And the main characters in this book, they're just ride or die. Life be lifing sometimes, but when you find the person you're meant to be with, you'll work through it. The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. This is another 3-star read for me. Although I didn't see the ending coming and I was shocked and sad that I didn't see the red flags waving in the book, I think it's okay. I've read other Frida McFadden books that I enjoyed more. I enjoy most Frida McFadden books. Every Frida McFadden book that I've read has been like a 4 or 5 star, but there are 2 Frida McFadden books that are 3 stars. The Locked Door is one of those, and the other one is The Inmate. I didn't love that one either. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. My sister said that this was a 5 out of 5 star read, which if you know my sister, which, do you know my sister? That would be kind of crazy if you know my sister. Hi Brenda, if you're watching. My sister said that this was a 5-star read, and she does not give out 5-star reads. She'll sometimes give a book 5 stars and the next day she'll be like, JK girl, I take it back. It's a 4-star, maybe even a 3.5 star. So she stands by her 5 out of 5 star for this book. So coming from her, I was like, must read. Give me book. Me and my sister sometimes agree on books. It's very rare, I feel like, though, because to me this book was a 3.5 star read. I love the small town aspect of this book, and like the small town vibes and the small town people in this book were everything. I needed more of that. But the main female character, Alexis, really got on my nerves. She could not shut the hell up about her ex-boyfriend. The way she kept yapping about this man all throughout the book. I'm talking like there's even a part like right here. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. You hold your horses. Where she says, I think I have to go to couples counseling with Neil. Neil is her ex. And we have this much left of the book, like 100 pages left. And she's still talking about her fucking ex-boyfriend. Literally wrote, girl, be for real. I need you to be so for real right now. And the fact that she kept talking about her family status and how she, you know, all this pressure, which I understand the first 5 times, but the fact that we talked about it another 5 times, girl, shut the hell up. This is a perfect example that reading is subjective. My sister loved this book. I liked it. Fine, I'll finally reveal to you what my 5-star read was, and that is Saving Noah by Lucinda Berry. This book, after reading it, genuinely changes your perspective on one particular thing that you would have never thought to have changed your perspective on. And it's kind of crazy. Every Lucinda Berry book I've ever read, I loved. I'm still working through her catalog. I haven't read every single Lucinda Berry book. She is a thriller author, but it's more than that. It's not like I don't read a Lucinda Berry book when I want like a good major plot twist or I'm looking for like a good suspenseful thriller. I read a Lucinda Berry book when I want something that's deep and real and could probably happen to someone in real life and will give you a new perspective on a situation that is someone's worst nightmare. And this book messed me up. Look at me. Look at me. There's one part in the epilogue that I'm going to read to you now that really did it to me. Well, no, I won't read it because it's a major spoiler. First Line Wins by Ashley Alston. This was a DNF. I could not connect to the characters or the plot line. I was confused. I couldn't follow along. I made it to like this point. I had this much left to go. And at this point, if I
do not care at all,
I'm gonna DNF it. I did listen to it on audio, so maybe that was it. I think it was maybe me, or maybe it was the book. I don't know. I can't point the finger at either of us. Maybe we're just not compatible. Next, we have a series, which is Saving 6, Redeeming 6, and Taming 7. I'm still working my way through Taming 7. I'm listening to it on audio. I've listened to this whole book on audio. Can I tell you guys something that hurts my feelings? Would you look at this? And then look at this. Why is book number 5 not as floppy as all of the other books? Every book in this series has amazing flop, except whatever the hell happened with book 5.
Why are you not floppy?
Maybe because this is an arc and it's not the actual like published version, but can we just do this? Joey's story is so good. Everyone needs an Aoife Malloy in their life, and them together is just everything. I have started Taming 7 and I don't know, girl. I'm nervous about this one because I wanted Gibbs's book as soon as I read Binding 13 because Gibbsy was everything. I love Gibbsy, but something ain't right about this. And last but not least, we have The Guardian of the Aspis by Sarah L. Rose. I read 200 pages of this book. I am wondering if this is not the right time for me to read this book because it is a super high fantasy book and I've been struggling to get into fantasy. I want to read a fantasy book and then I start reading a fantasy book and I'm like, wait a second, I don't know here. The main female character is pretty much on the run on her home planet, but then she somehow gets teleported to another planet and things are going down on this other planet, and I think she has an important role to play in whatever is happening on the other planet. There's one thing about this book that did throw me off. It does go back and forth between the main female character and what I'm assuming is the main male character in this book. He has a few chapters in here in his point of view, or should I say in third person, but the main female character's chapters are in first person and his chapters are in third person. And like my brain cannot compute that. I don't want that. I want him talking. I want his thoughts. I want what's happening up here. Not like what is he doing? Like I want to know, like, you know what I'm saying? Up to this point in the book, which is around 200 pages out of a 600, 700 page book, it's been like 3 days. The world building is intense and there's nothing wrong with that. I get like big fantasy books like this, especially when it's the first book in the series, has a lot of world building. There's a lot we need to get through. It's just a lot for my little pea-sized fantasy brain at the moment. I do want to know where it ends up, but I think I might have to put a pin in it for now. These are all the books I read this month. 50-50. It's been a 50-50 month for me, which is, I mean, I guess okay. But I want, like, what I'm looking for, I want a good 5-star rom-com. That's what I need in my heart. And then I have Forget Me Not staring at me on my shelf like, hee hee. Forget Me Not was a 5-star rom-com for me. And I want that. I want it again. I hope you're doing well and I hope you're taking care of yourselves and you're ebbing and you're flowing and you're feeling what you need to feel and you're enjoying your good days with no guilt. That's all I have for you. Okay, love you. Bye.